Hello and welcome to chapter 3 of Angular Material Theming System. In this chapter, we are going to talk about typography. We are going to continue from where we end the chapter 2, which was dimension color. So if you are following along, you don't have to close the repository again or go into any other folder. Just continue in the same project. Or if you want to start from scratch, you can go to end folder of chapter 2 and run the npm start command in that folder and then continue the exercise of this chapter of typography in that folder. Instructions and links for the repository and folders are given in the section below of this video. In this chapter, we are going to cover two topics. First, we will understand how typography works in Angular material, and then we will modify the typography in our to-do application. Okay, let's understand the typography first. So, similar to colors, typography in mat.theme can accept a single value or a map of values. Let's see that in our code. So first of all, let's try to remove this typography and see what output it is generating. If I save this, in the output, there is no much of a difference, but there is a significant difference in Angular material components. Look at the font size of toolbar now. It is reduced. Also look at the font size of dialogues title and font sizes of form fields and buttons. They are not appropriate. Let's go to browser and inspect in DevTools. So I'm going into toolbar, and in the toolbar, if you see, for font family, font size, line height, font weight, and all other properties, it is trying to read the CSS variables from Angular material, but it is not able to find them. Why? Because we removed the typography property from mat.theme mixin. This is the similar pattern which we observed in previous chapter when we removed color property altogether. Angular material was not generating Angular material CSS variables. Similarly, for typography, when we are removing it from mat.theme mixin, it is not generating CSS variables for typography related features. Let's bring it back and see whether it is generating the variables or not. So I will bring it back and I will save it. And I will go back to the output. Okay, so now if you see, it is generating this CSS variables. Mats is title large font, mats is title large line height, etc. Correct? So notice how color and typography works in similar way when we remove them from mat.theme mixin. They both do not generate any CSS variables if you do not provide them in mat.theme mixin's map. Okay, let's get back to code. So here we have provided a single value in typography, and when you provide only a single value in typography, Angular material will use that font for all of its components. And the font weights used in components are set to 700, 500, and 400 for bold, medium, and regular texts. Right? So that is how a single value works in typography. Now, instead of single value, similar to color, we can also provide a map for typography, and typography map supports 5 properties. So we can also provide a map like this. So in this map, there are 5 properties: plain family, brand family, bold weight, medium weight, and regular weight, right? So if you provide only single font family, these weights are 700 500 and 400. But now we are overriding it to 900, 500 and 300. And we are also providing one extra family as brand family, and the value is open sans. So brand family means font family for heading related text. So title of this dialog, type font of the toolbar, all those fonts will use open sans as font family. So that is the meaning of brand family in Angular material. Now you may wonder why Angular material named this property as plain family and brand family and not regular family and heading family, right? So they follow this terminology from material 3 design. Similarly, how primary and tertiary properties are named from material 3 design, plain family, brand family are also named from material 3 design. Let me show you that. If we go to material 3 docs, in that, in the typography section, you can see the type scale, and in the tokens, if we take a look at this display large tokens, and if I click on display large font, you see they are following MD sys type scale display large font. So token names are named as brand, MD ref typeface brand. So all the heading fonts read from brand typeface, and all the body fonts read from plain typeface. So in Material 3 design, heading fonts are called as brand fonts and regular fonts are called as plain font. So that's why Angular Material team has named this property as plain family and brand family. Okay, so for our example, we only want to modify font families. We want to use inter for plain family and poppins for brand family. So let's go to fonts.google.com and grab those fonts. So I have already opened fonts.google.com. Now let's search for inter and click on get font. Let's go to view selected family. So it is showing poppins and inters both. You can also search for poppins and add it to the cart by clicking on get font. Now we will click on get embed code. We will copy this snippet. We will go back to our index.html and in head section, we will paste that. We will also remove the line of Roboto font. We don't want to use that. I will save this. I will again go back, and for brand, I will use Poppins serif, and for plain family, I will use inter. I will save this. Okay, there is an error, and it is because of quotes. So once we save this, you can see the toolbar's title has the Poppins font, and other fonts should have inter family, but this doesn't look like inter. Let's see, because in body we are still using Roboto, Helvetica, and sans serif. So here also we have to provide inter. I will copy this and provide. I will save this, and now this also follows inter font family. Let's go to browser. Let's inspect this. Yes, it is. has Poppins font family, and this has Inter font family. Even the dialogues title will have Poppins font family because that is a brand family. So this brings to end of this chapter. To recap, we started with understanding how typography works in Angular material, and then we saw what kind of output it generates if we remove the typography, if we provide a single font family for typography, and what are all the properties we can provide in a map if we want to add more, customize more properties of a typography in Angular material. And lastly, we grabbed the fonts of Inter and Poppins from fonts.google.com, and then we added them in our project and we saw how it is taking effect. In the next chapter, we are going to cover density. Thank you.